Hello everyone, my name is Finil Shaw and I'll be host for today's event. Uh, Hold up before we start. Let me do some changes. Yeah, let me share my screen. Okay, so welcome everyone to Hacktoberfest MozNUV event. Hacktoberfest is a month-long celebration which happens every year. And I would like, before we start, let me explain or guide you through all the guidelines and code of conduct and check-in and all that. So I'm sharing my screen. Let me know if it is visible in the comments. I'm waiting for your reply. Okay, so yeah, I think it's visible. And so yeah, moving on to uh, check out our Discord link, which is given in the description. And when you log in Discord, you'll get to know that there are welcome rules, roles and channels and all. But before, if you want to message everywhere and get into networking with everyone, you have to accept the rules, the Mozilla community rules. You have to read all these rules and you can check to this emote in order to get the member role, and which will count you as a member of the community. As you will get the member role, you can message all over the MozNUV Discord. And next, go to Hacktoberfest MozNUV category. Over there, you find README. Uh, Read all the event description, Hacktoberfest and event description, code of conduct, and all. And also by reacting to this emote, you will you'll it says that you are accepting the code of conduct and you won't break the code of conduct, and you will be able to watch out the whole FAQ, Hacktoberfest announcements, general Ask Mentors and mini events, and there are voice channels. Let me explain you what those are. In the FAQ, you'll get to know the basics questions which are asked over and over again, like what is Hacktoberfest, or say what is open source and all. Moving on to Hacktoberfest announcements, where you will get the announcements, what is happening today, what is coming next, and yeah, to stay updated. Next to general, here we can talk. The hackers, we the people can talk here and communicate with each other. Next, ask mentors. As you know, we have amazing mentors for this event. You can ask our mentors by tagging them, and yeah, ask them whatever questions you have. Next, also we are going to have too many events, and we are going to talk about mini events over here. And these are some voice channels, Hacky Talkie, networking speaker, and mentors here, where you can network with mentors, network with each other. And the Hacky Talkie is for mini events. Yeah, that's it for Discord. Join in for Discord channel. Join our Discord channel, MozNUV. And yeah. So moving on to before we start, RSVP on the community.mozilla.org, for which the link is in the description. You have to just do this. I'll attend. Hold up. I'll guide you. You have to this do. I will attend, and you will be RSVP'd for community portal. Next, moving on to Hacktoberfest portal, Hacktoberfest MLH portal, where you can see all the event description, rules and rewards, code of conduct, who can attend, and the schedule for the event, like at what time what is going to happen, who is going to take session and all that. So yeah, to get register yourself for the event. And yeah, you have to register here. You have to put in the city in which, in whatever city you're living in. As such, I'm living in Vadodara. I'll be writing Vadodara, country India, and I agree to the code of conduct and submit. As you submit, you'll get uh, this. What's happening? Okay, hold up. I guess I won't be able to do this as I'm the organizer. Maybe that's the case. But if you register, you'll get something like check-in over here, and you have to do that check-in. Yeah, that's it for check-in, Discord, and RSVP. Moving on to Hacktoberfest. What is Hacktoberfest? So Hacktoberfest is a open source celebration which happens the whole month, October month. And Hacktoberfest is open to everyone, no matter if you're a developer, student learning to code, event host, or a company of any size. And yeah, Hacktoberfest is from October 1 to October 31. Also, in order to be eligible to get the Hacktoberfest swags, you have to do four pull requests, for which Nimit and Harsh will guide you in the next session. You can check out the resources of Hacktoberfest here, that how to do. And but I guess don't worry, we have good sessions which will guide you more good, or you can check it out if you have any issues. Yes. And FAQ, if you have any questions, you can ask on our Discord, or you can check it out over here, normal FAQs about Hacktoberfest. Also, this year we have updates. Hacktoberfest has an update, which in order to get your pull request valid, you contribute to the repositories which have Hacktoberfest accepted label, or Hacktoberfest topic, which I guess Nimit will guide you in the session. And moving on to the profile, where you have hold up, let me show you from start. You have to do start hacking. As you do the start hacking, you have to sign in with GitHub. You have, in order to get your ML this dashboard, you have to you need to have a GitHub account. Yeah, that's it. And you will get over here, and you can see how many pull requests you have done. So I've not done any pull requests yet, so it's showing 0 out of 4. And yeah, that's it for keynotes. Next, also, yeah, here you can see that Hacktoberfest accepted label, or Hacktoberfest. You can contribute to these topics, and Nimit will guide you in the next session. So the next session we are going to have is from Nimit Sawant and Harsh Mehta. They are going to guide you with everything, how to do pull request, what is GitHub and Git and everything. You don't have to worry about that. And if you have any questions or any doubts, do ask them in the comments in the live this session, or you can ask on Discord. Also, I like to say that we are going to have too many events, for which you can check the schedule on MLH portal, and we are going to do that many events on our Discord. So do not forget to join our Discord server. And we are having swags for many events. The top 3 winners will win swags. And yeah, that's it. I hope we will have fun and happy hacking and contributing to open source. Yeah, bye bye. And hold up, I'm so sorry. So yeah, our next session is going to be up in 1 minute. Stay tuned and spam the comments. Yeah.
Hey, what's up? Nimit, you're on mute.
Yep. Hi
Yo, what's
guys,
up?
what's up? So yeah, let's start with the first event of the day, the Hacktoberfest. So Sanil, I would request to pull up the share. Hello. Can you see the presentation?
Yes, Nimit. Yes.
So a very good morning to everyone. My name is Nimit Savan, and also people call me Lupe. And down there somewhere you can see all the social medias where you can connect with me. I'm a Mozillian, also a community enthusiast. Yeah.
Oh, and I'm Harsh, as you can see right here. There's my name. And yeah, I'm a Flutter developer and I'm also a Mozillian. Uh, and yeah, I guess that's it. And so yeah, you can find me at Toboto Darky on any social platforms. So let's just start. Mm, okay, so let's talk about open source. What exactly is open source? If you're new to open source and you're not exactly sure what it is, so open source basically means like open to the public, and source is basically the source code. So usually when you talk about open source, it's something about uh, making the source code of something, or making source code or at least making some kind of source code public to the public. So yeah, next slide please. Uh, Nimit. Yep. Yeah, and but that exactly is the textbook definition. That's what I read, and when I was, I don't know, in college. So, and that was probably the worst definition I could have ever, witnessed in my life. So, but open source is more than that. It's not just making the source code to your project or something public. Open source, it's a place where people will help each other out because they can. I mean, I'll tell you why later on, I guess. And people come together and make a technology what it is. And if you don't know, there are some insane, like there are some very popular open source repositories or projects that have been made possible because that are big because people contribute a lot to it. One of which is, I guess, VS Code, which is probably the most loved and the most widely used text editor out there. And now it's not just a text editor. I mean, it's more than a text editor if you ask me. But earlier on, it was when Microsoft released it, it was like a text editor, then the open source and blah blah blah. But things become, really visuals. VS Code has really matured over the years when it comes to, because of open source contributions, because why people contribute to open source. So yeah, people come together, they contribute, and they make technology what it is today. So yeah, I guess. And lastly, open source, it's not just about development, and it's not just about pushing your code to the to GitHub or something like that. It's about a community as well, and it's a really wholesome and welcoming community. And people are always welcomed in open source, welcome to contribute. They always have really nice maintainers. If you I'm not exactly sure, but if you see in a lot of repositories, they mention that if someone new is contributing to this project, then make sure that you are really nice to them. Don't be rude at all. So that's why it's so welcoming, and it's for everyone. It's really inclusive. Everyone, they don't care who. I mean, they care a lot about you, but they don't care who you are. Exactly. So yeah, it's a wholesome and very welcoming community. But the main question is, why should I contribute? I mean, yeah, I get it. That makes sense. Yeah, it's a community, and yeah, blah 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 blah. But why should? What's in it for me if I want to contribute? Why should I contribute? Well, the first thing is incredible self growth, and this is probably one of the main reasons why you should do it, because open source gives you the opportunity to look at projects in a different way, and it gives you the opportunity to look at like live projects. Like if you say that VS Code or Visual Studio Code, and if you try to contribute to it, Visual Studio Code is out there. You can see what contributions you're making, and it's a big project, and you'll get the experience as a student or even as a professional. You'll get the experience to contribute to like big projects, and you get to see the big projects. Even if you don't contribute, you can just see the code and see how things work, and that's how you grow. The more you look into all of these things, and yeah, that's how we grow. I mean, I've grown a lot. Back when I started with iOS development, I open sourced one of my projects. Then I started looking at other projects. That's how actually I learned iOS development, because I, you know, I my code was terrible in the beginning. My code was like awful, but after that I started to see other open source projects and how they're maintained, and how the code is written and the code styling and stuff like that. And that's how I learned how to maintain my repository or maintain my project, and as well as write clean code and write some MVC patterns and stuff like that. That's how I learned about iOS. So that was some incredible self for me. I've learned a lot. Next is feel good moments. Yeah, I mean, whenever it's like helping out a person or something, whenever you feel like you have done something, you feel good. Uh, Even if it's something really small. I used to send snaps of like small documentation updates in the Firebase, in the Firebase projects or something like that. It was funny. I mean, it was just funny. I mean, but I felt really good. They were really small contributions, but I felt really good. It gave me like inner boost. And another thing is that people appreciate what you have done, no matter what it is. Like I have seen when first started contributing to open source, it was Mozilla India's website, and the maintainer over there was really friendly and really helpful. Every contribution I made, he would make sure that he would message like, okay, thank you for contributing a lot, I mean, this means a lot and stuff like that. So that's really it makes you feel really good. I mean, people are welcoming, as I said earlier. So yeah, and next is you make connections, and which I believe is very important. And by that I mean that you get to talk to maintainers. If one of my friends, he has been contributing to the Flutter repository, and he has met a lot of and he has talked to a lot of engineers at Google, and he has they kind of like know him, and it's kind of like really you know I could say really beneficial to make connections. Whenever Ayush would need something, which is my friend, whenever he would need something, he would just ask them, "Oh, yo, like how do I do this? I mean, I'm stuck over here. I'm stuck." So they help you out. Connections help you out. Friends help you out. Even like even if I know Nimit right now, and if Nimit wants some help, then he could just he could just literally message me, because I know him, and I know him because of this community. And open source is also a community. People, you'll meet maintainers, meet new contributors. Just talk to them. I mean, not exactly. You can't talk in the on the GitHub repository, but yeah, I mean, you'll get to know people, and you might get a job. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, this I put it in the last because I actually didn't want to put this, but honestly speaking, when people talk about open source, sometimes people who don't really know that much about open source, they're like, oh, it's just open source, everything is free, there's no money in it, there's no jobs, there's nothing. Well, that's actually a myth. I have seen there's a lot of money in open source. Microsoft just didn't buy GitHub for a lot of money, for like 7 million or something. It's not for nothing. It's when you contribute to open source, people, let's suppose that if I contribute to some repository. Just pick a random repository. What repository should you pick? Okay, let's see. If I contribute to the MariaDB repository, then people from the MariaDB project who are engineers over there, they'll recognize me the more I contribute to the projects. So they'll kind of recognize me, and they know me that I'm a good person if I know how to contribute, and if I have contributed so much, then I probably have a higher chance of getting a job over there. Another thing that there are recruiters out there who also look at open source, contributions, like how many open source contributions I have or you have or everyone has, and they kind of mail you. Even I can't open my mails right now, but I have a few mails where there are organizations who have um, mailed me about, and if I was interested in joining their company, because they visited my GitHub profile and they were like, okay, yeah, I found your group GitHub profile really nice. I mean, you have good contributions. Um, why not just hit us up? Let's see. So yeah, so you might get a job opportunity as well if you contribute well enough. It's up to you then. So yeah, I guess we should. Yep, thanks, Nimit. That sounds great. I mean, but that's for contributions. That's for if I want to contribute. But why should I open source my project? My project is personal to me. I mean, why should I open source it? Well, you should open source it if you care about your project. I mean, care about your project as in, I won't emphasize on your. I would emphasize on care about your project, which means that you don't care that it's built by you or that much, but you will care that you want it to be good. You want your project to be good. You want your project to, you know, be even better. So that's what open source will give. Other people will contribute to your repository. They'll try to make it better. They're really, again, they'll even suggest you some stuff. They'll do a lot of things. They'll suggest you. They'll, contribute in code, and even in documentation they'll help you with documentation as well. So if you have an existing project which you feel like you need help with, just open source it, and maybe even tweet about it or something, and people will come and contribute. So that's why it makes your projects even better. VS Code would not have been VS Code if it would have been private. It would have been Visual Studio Code. I mean, I'm sorry, what did I say? It would have been Visual Studio. And trust me, Visual Studio is that great. But yeah, I mean, it won't be as good as you probably, and maybe you don't even have time to contribute, so you can just open source it. And your project might get sponsored as well. So GitHub now has something called sponsoring a repository or sponsoring someone, which means that if they feel like this, they want to see this project build or become even better, then the people, organizations like sponsor you to maintain your project and stuff like that. And it's not just just $100 or $100 per month or whatever. No, like it's a legit sponsorship. People actually make like 100K, 150K a year just from sponsorships, because they have really cool and they have like awesome repositories that people want to use, and they want to make it better. So that's why like a lot of people sponsor you as well, and you might get a job again. I mean, let's suppose if you have cool um let's suppose if you have a cool project, and and if you open sources, then like inter or recruiters will see how your codes, or they'll see how you code. They'll see your project, how interesting it is. They'll see how you've written it and how your code styling is. I mean, recruiters do that thing whenever they see your code. So yeah, you might get you might get you might get a job. You might get a job. So yeah. Next again, when it, yep. But I'm not a code. I don't want code. I mean, I get open source really cool and all, but all I see is code out there. Whatever is said is just all about code, and I don't want to code. Well, there are a lot of great examples. I will talk to you just a second. So, so it's and GitHub and open source has become so big that it's not just about code anymore. That's why the definition about the code being open source or the code being open is no longer open source. Now the anything, almost anything can be open source. Like if the first one is awesome, and awesome is a repository which is just a list. It's just a list of awesome things. That's it. That's literally it. It's just a list about awesome things, and it's probably one of the most popular repositories out there on GitHub. It has like like 100K stars, and yeah, I mean it's just a list. It's nothing else. And there's no code at all. It's just a markdown file and there's a list of cool things in technology or something like that. And it's probably one of the most popular repositories out there. And another one is Mozilla's Open Design. It's not really popular, but it's kind of a niche, and where if you don't even know how to code, then you can contribute and design. You can contribute by making cool, I don't know, like making cool, what can you say, making cool posters or making cool logos and stuff. There are requests where people would say like, okay, I'm organizing this or we are having this event, but we don't have any designers. Why don't you help us out? And some designer goes there and just you're cool, man, I got this, you don't worry about that. So yeah, so you can even contribute with design. It's not like you have to contribute with code. I mean, yeah, I guess. And there's a lot of many great examples. There's a lot of lists. There's a lot of things where you don't have to code. I'm sure I haven't looked it up much right now, but yeah. Okay, cool. What's next? I don't even know what next. Okay, open source is huge. Yeah, exactly. So open source is huge, and I'm putting this emphasis on huge because it is quite huge, and you should be a part of it. You should be a part of it by contributing to open source. You should be a part of it by helping others out on open source. You should be a part of open source by putting your projects and making them even bigger. And yeah, open source is huge, and you should be a part of it. Please contribute to open source, and as much as you can. It will help you a lot. Trust me, it has helped me a lot. And I am giving this talk because of open source, because I was introduced to open source. So yeah, I guess that's it from my end. Nimit, you might want to take the stage now.
Am I audible? Cool. So let's start with the second half of the session. And today we'll be learning some hands-on tricks and something about GitHub. Why should you even use it? And yeah, then we already had the open source thing. So let's start with it. So first of all, what is Git? Why should we use it? What is it? And how to use it? So first of all, if you want to maintain all the versions of your code, for example, you have made code, right? And you want to maintain different versions, or you have seen version 1, version 2, version 3, and you can maintain particularly every different, like, every every code in a different version, and you want to roll back sometime to your code. So yeah, basically you use Git for that. It helps to control your versions. Yeah. The second one is, what is Git? So Git is actually a version control system, a distributed type, and we have many version control systems, but Git is the most famous one. Also, Git can be a bit tricky sometimes, but yeah, when you get a hold of it, it's really cool. So yeah, like what I can say, we have different version control systems such as Mercular, Subversion, uh, then Heroku CLI, we have etc. All of them. But yeah, we can use Git anytime, and yeah, cool. Now let's move forward to how to use Git. So basically, you have to first install the Git CLI, the Git command line in your laptop or your computer. You can have any Mac, Windows, anything. I guess Fennel will provide the link in the chat section to download the Git CLI. And when you download it, it's the procedure is pretty simple, and you have to keep everything as default as it is. You don't have to change or tweak anything. The only thing that you have to change or according to your use is the editor you're gonna use. So for example, you're like a geek who uses Vim, so you can choose Vim. And yeah, I sometimes use Vim, so I've kept it as my editor. Also, if you use uh, I guess if you use VS Code, you can keep that. If you use Atom, you can keep that. Whichever ID you use, you can keep that, and that makes Git a very flexible system. So yeah, let's move forward to the next section. That is, we also covered installation, and let's move forward to hands-on. And yeah, I'll start with the hands-on thing. Also, I'll give you a short example of how like it actually works in layman language, so that everyone can understand from the first time. Okay, so I'll share the new screen. And just so
What are the comments? I forgot to ask if anyone had any questions about the process.
Um, there aren't any comments, but I see that there's one add me into the group if you have any WhatsApp group. But as such, we are on Discord. We do not have any WhatsApp group or something. We all people communicate on Discord, and for which we have the link in the description, and you can follow that and join us on Discord. Yeah, that's it.
just a second,
Cool.
I'll just
Nimit,
okay, I'll go with the example. So what we say, you know about Google Docs, right? You have made a lot of Google Docs when you are writing your assignments or anything. Okay, so basically Git acts like the backend of your Google Docs. So for example, if you've started your Google Doc, so it gives the first page, and that's the first save that you make, after which you make some changes, write something, maybe write an essay about something, and then press and save or something. So it would be your second version. So if you want to roll back to your first version in Google Docs, that's also available. Just a second, I'll again try to share my screen if uh, that's done. Just a second. And share screen. Okay. Share.
mm,
Okay, it's so cool. I can't share my Google Doc for some reason, but it's okay. So yeah, basically it's like you can check your all versions in Google Doc, and I'll provide you the link to how to check your different versions in Google Doc. So yeah, moving forward, moving forward with this, let me share again my presentation. Can I share my Git? Yeah, let me just tell you the installation process. So I guess this link would be provided to you in the comment section by Fennel already. You just have to go here and select whatever version, whatever desktop version you use. For example, Mac to Mac, Windows to Windows, and Linux. Yeah, you can go for Linux. Also, there are two modes in Git. That is, first one is a small GUI mode, and the second one is the GitHub CLI mode, Git CLI mode. So Basically, I would recommend to use Git CLI, but it's upon you how you want to use it. So yeah, I'll quickly try to do this. Okay, so I guess now the Git document is being visible. So what you can do is now, yeah, for example, this is the first version you want to like, this is the version that you have saved. And yeah, if you want to see the version that was before this, I'll just tweak something and you can see the version. Just a second. Okay, so as you can see here, there's a version history. Similarly, in Git, you have commits, so you can roll back to those commits. So here you can see the version history of mine. So last night I was editing this thing and I just figured out I can use this example. So this was the first version. So the first version had nothing, that's why this thing is blank, and the next version has some code. So yeah, that's why it is there. So basically, if you're adding some new feature, if you're adding some new feature to your app and it doesn't work, so what would you do? You can roll back to the commit that was working before, and yeah, boom, your app is working again. So that's one of the advantages of using it, but there are more to come. So let's start with so I'll share my, oh yeah, now it is going. So let's start with the git command line. Let me share that too, so that you can have a good hands-on experience on how to do that. Yeah, I'll open my git and we'll make a repo itself from git locally. And then in the next session where I'll introduce you to GitHub, we'll connect our local repo to the GitHub one. So I'll just start my git bash here. Let's see if I can share this. Please let me share this from. Okay, Fennel, just a second before you put the screen on, because I'm sharing my dashboard. So just a second. Now, can you see the GitHub CLI? Just Harsh, can you give me a heads up on that?
Can you enlarge it or something?
Yeah, I do that. Something like this.
The text, yeah, the font
Oh, oh, oh. Okay.
should be in like preferences or something like
I don't know. I can't do that right now, but
that. It's fine.
I guess
It's
it's
fine.
easy. Yeah. So first of all, we'll start with making a Git repository on our desktop locally. So let's start. You just have to do a simple commands. There are a bunch of simple commands that you can use. You don't have to get into the advanced section here. So let's start. So the first is git init, that initializes your Git repo. So let's do that. Git git init. So I'll make a new repo first of all, first of all, a new folder actually. New folder, and then I will get in it. Yeah, get it. So now what you have to do is you can use any code editor you want to. I personally use PyCharm and Visual Studio Code because Visual Studio Code is very flexible. And let's start with Visual Studio Code then. If you just type in code space full stop, it will open your it should open. Yeah. Okay, so basically we'll add one file. You can add anything, but I'll add index or HTML because that's what I've been taught. Yeah. So let's start. Okay, I'm using bin here. So sometimes the process is terrible, and I would give a suggestion: please don't use bin in in your VS Code because it's horrible sometimes. So okay, I do one thing. I just do it from here. Mm, let's use Nano if we have new.use. Okay, so Nano is also an editor which you can find in Linux. The Linux user should know about this. So what you can do is type a message, hello, my name is Sumit, and just save it. Yeah, it's saved. And yeah, now you can do ls. Ls will give you all the files that are available. So yeah, these two files I've just created. Yeah. So let's do one thing. Let's see the status. Git status gives you the status of the files that are there available. So the red, so the ones that are in red, that means these files haven't been added in the staging section. So we'll start with the staging section with where we'll add these two files. So let's start with that. It's very simple process actually. Get add. You can individually add both files, for example, like this index.html, or if you want to add all files that are available there, git add. They're pretty simple commands actually. So yeah. Now let's see again the status. Now as you can see, the files which were red before now are green, and this means that these files are staged now and they're ready for a commit. So we'll commit now. Git commit. Yeah. A tip here would be please write a commit message. Okay, a commit message is basically you updating what feature you have added into your app, okay, or what folder or what files you've added. So as much as specific you can be, you please write the commit as specific so that uh, you know what commit you have done, but people who are out there in your team don't know about this. Okay, so if you write a specific commit, it will be really helpful for them. So I would write added index.html and new.txt. And also sometimes we update files, so instead of added, you can use updated or something like that. So yeah, now what will it do is, sorry, yeah, and those two files are now added in create. See, you can see these two files are added. Now we'll again do git status so that we can see what is the status of the files. And on branch master, nothing to commit, working weekly. So that means we have committed the things and we'll just add it now. But to add these things, you have to use this command, that is git push. But it won't work because you have to add a remote URL. That would be the GitHub section. So I just cover the. I'll go back to the slides. Can you stop the screen presentation? And yeah, first, can you give me a heads up if it's done?
It's cool. It's cool.
Cool. Because
Um.
I've shared actually the whole
Yeah.
screen. So, uh,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I
yeah.
understand.
So just a second, I'll go back to wait.
Mm, you might want to close your stream at the moment.
Yep. I did that. And now I'll share the presentation again. This presentation. Okay. Again, I want to have presentation. Can share it. Okay. Again, share my whole screen, but can you don't keep it on? And as soon as yeah, you can see this thing, the presentation. Can you see this? Harsh, can you give me a heads up?
No, yeah. Hold up. Yep, it's here now.
Yeah. So I guess it's right. So let's move forward to the next section. That is GitHub. So first of all, you have to make an account. That's the basics. And yeah, I guess Penel will provide the link in the chat section there. And yeah, so first of all, if you're a student, there are many perks for you. That is, you can get the GitHub Student Developer Pack, which is very cool, and I use it a lot. So while you are in college, you're studying, you can use the GitHub Student Education Pack for free, and you get a lot of tools there. Even sometimes exploring those tools, you get new hobbies, and you start to explore those tools in your projects. Even when you don't have to use them. So yeah, I've done that. So moving forward, exploring the GitHub thingy. So I'll just share again the GitHub thingy and we'll explore what GitHub is, and then we'll create a remote repository on GitHub and then link it to our local Git repository that we have made. So yeah, let's start with that. Phil, can you please speak?
Yep.
Yeah, thanks.
Uh,
So
yeah.
we can start with hmm. Are there any questions in the chat section? I can also address them when I'm doing the sharing thing.
Um, I guess not. There's one. Why
Okay,
should why should someone use Git if we can do it with a better UI?
with a better UI. Okay, I guess you hear me GitHub Desktop. So obviously we have GitHub Desktop here, and I guess it manages a lot of things for you. And it's a cool thing to use GitHub Desktop too. And yeah, but Git gives you a grip to your repository. You can do a lot of things with Git. For example, merging, rebasing, and taking all the logs of the commits that you have made previously. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty cool feature Git offers to you, and it in Wholesome it offers to you a very good grip at your repository, which is not being offered by GitHub Desktop. And yeah, I personally would suggest you if you're a developer, you should start using Git CLI because yeah, it gives you good grip. And the
Yep.
next thing would be what we say. Yeah, GitHub Desktop is also pretty cool. If you want to use it because it has a pretty sleek UI and UX, and yeah, it has purple color. So
And another thing, when you go out to other company, I mean, when you are employed by other companies, when you start with a job in tech or something, that there is a high chance that your organization might have their own version control system of Git. So in that case, UIs like SourceTree or GitHub Desktop or stuff like that might not be for you exactly. Uh, and yeah, I guess just writing writing commands for Git is much quicker than just going through and flipping through UI and stuff like that. You'll kind of start understanding that once you go out to the professional world, as they call it. But yeah, I mean,
exactly.
professionally, I found Git more useful than a
Yeah.
UI.
So that was a great question. Thank you, Hardik. So as you can see, this is my GitHub profile, and this is the page you will see after you make your account, or maybe if you have made your own account, you can see that too. I'll also quickly give a thing about GitHub Education Pack so that you folks know about this thing too. So I already have the GitHub education pack. There are like 2 to 3 things that you need to consider while doing that. The first thing would be you have to, if you already have a GitHub account, you just have to add your college ID to that as a primary mail, so that primary or secondary, so that they can know that you're a college student. Also, you have to upload college ID. That would make the process faster. So yeah, those are the basic things that you. Okay. So let's go on to GitHub Student Developer Pack and let's just see what things they offer. Okay, I would like to say one thing that I really love to use Canva and Platform. I use them a lot. So you'll also find them very helpful. So as you can see, Canva is, I guess, very popular. Yeah. Also, you also have AWS Educate and stuff, Microsoft Azure. You can host your websites and I guess your AI/ML models here. You have a lot of things. GitHub Education offers a lot of things, and you can explore it yourself. I guess Fennel will provide the link in the chat section so that you can take a look at that nicely. So yeah. Also, if you want to make your custom domain, you can do it. There are multiple things that offers you to make your custom domains. These are the key points that offers that. I use that. So yeah, that was a short tutorial of GitHub education. Let's move forward to exploring GitHub. So first of all, we have a bunch of section here that is pull request, issue, marketplace, and explore. Also, you can search anything here. So anything you search here will give you a result for the same. Now let's move forward to the pull request section. See what I've done. Yeah, these are the recent pull requests that I made. One second. And yes, they are still open. That's why you can see them here. And wait, there are 15 closed. So closed means they have been either accepted or were merged or were rejected. So let's see. See, basically all of them have been merged. Basically, I have a small community aspects team where I do stuff. I will put open source repositories. You can contact me with that. You can do that too. Let's move forward to the next section, that is issues section. Mm, yeah. So here you can find all the issues you're currently working on, or maybe you the open ones obviously, and you can see here the closed ones. So what issues are basically is, for example, you have created a software or a website or anything, a project or anything, and you're facing some trouble, or you want to add some new feature. So what you do is you list down those features in your issues section, so that people who are open sourcing, like for example, the best example I can get is Hers. So basically, they can get there and solve your issues. Also, you can assign this to your friends so that they can also have a look at that. And yeah, uh, the next one would be the marketplace. So next one would be the marketplace. You have a lot of actions here. First of all, you get actions and a lot of bots that are available for you. So basically, if you have an app and you want to deploy it somewhere, and there are some processes after you commit it to your master branch. So, and if you commit it to your master branch, so and you want to do things after that, so there are basically action bots for that, and they can do everything after you push uh, it locally. So yeah, you have a lot of things here. You should explore the marketplace. The next thing would be explore. Okay. So in explore section, you can see the people I'm maybe following, the repositories I may be following. So yeah, and pretty sleek repositories are available here so that you can hop into them and start contributing open source. Yeah, the next section in Explore tab itself is topics. So as Fennel mentioned before, there is already Hacktoberfest going on right now, and Hacktoberfest topic has been listed here. So if you want to get the T-shirt and really want to contribute to really cool repositories, you should just go here and click on Hacktoberfest topic. So what it will do is it will show all the repositories that have mentioned Hacktoberfest as its topic, and yeah, like you get pretty cool repositories here, as you can see. And these are the mainstream repositories that you should contribute to, I would suggest. And there are many spam which are going on right now on GitHub, invalid and spam repositories, which just have tagged something and offer you to contribute there. So I would not suggest to go with that, and I would suggest you should follow this thing, that is going to the topic section and then write Hacktoberfest. Even you can jot it down from URL here. I guess Fennel will provide it. Yeah. Mm. So yeah, so the next section would be is creating a repository and connecting it to the Git locally that you have made, the Git repository that you have locally made. So I'll quickly create a new repository. So I will name it. What was the name I gave last time? Let me see. Okay, I just gave it new folder now. So I'll give this repository name new folder. And if you want to add description, it's your choice. This description would be shown in your README file. And yeah, I wouldn't start with anything here right now. I just want to connect it. So yeah, you can also add a README file. You can add a license if you want to. There are a pretty good number of licenses available here, and you can go into the section and see what licenses are available, what are their properties and stuff. I personally use MIT so that my project is open source and people can do anything to that. So yeah, also it has its limitation obviously. So I've just made this repository. I create a repository. Also this GitHub learning lab you see, you won't find it there. You have to enable it if you want to. This is something that will give you constant notification for securities or stuff that is wrong in your repository, and it will correct you. It will get you know about all the things. So yeah, it's also pretty sleek feature that you should have. So I'll just quickly create a repository now. So yeah, the repository is created. Now you'll get a bunch of commands that are already present. So first of all, it's telling us to create a repository on our local, so that we can connect it here. We already did that actually. So what we'll do, we'll go to the next section where it is saying that you should push the local repository to your GitHub one by following these commands. You just have to copy this thing in your I suppose in your Git CLI that we were using. I'll quickly share it. Hmm. Okay, Fenil, just a second. Just a second. Yeah, cool. So Fenil, if you can see the Git CLI, you can share it.
It's on. It's the screen is on.
Now?
The screen is on screen. Don't worry.
Yep, cool.
Yep.
So the command that we recently discovered here, we just have to copy that thing. So what this command basically is doing is it is connecting your Git repository, that is this one, to your local one. As you can see, add origin. Origin is the name you are giving to this thing, this connection. HTTPS, your repository's name. So let's do that. Okay. Nice. Thank you. Yep, it's added. And if you want to see what is added, you can just do one thing: git gather remote and v. Yeah. So as you can see, this is the push and fetch that is being added, and here's the name origin. This is the remote URL that you have connected to. So yeah, let's move forward. Now what we'll do is we'll basically you have master branch here, okay, and on GitHub we have main. So what we'll do is we'll make it the default one. So yeah, we'll just do that. Paste it. Git branch main. So it makes some backend magic, and from master it gets to main. So yeah, the next thing that you should do is you have to push them. So this is the command that helps you to push it. Also you can just type git push, but you can't do that because it gives you a fatal error, because your master branch is not there on the GitHub. That's why you have to add an upstream to that. Upstream is basically on GitHub you don't have that branch basically, and locally you have that branch. So yeah, what we'll do is we'll just copy this thing and paste it. So what it is doing is it is first of all, let's see the process here. It's making a new branch main to main. Okay. So when here we did this get branch main, we actually created the branch locally. It was not meant to be on GitHub. Okay. So now what this did is it created a new branch and pushed the things to that. Also, yeah, it pushed the two files that were here, and now we should see are they there on our GitHub or not. Yeah, so the two files that we made are available on our GitHub thing. And yes, let's see the branch now. Okay, we have the main branch here, the same branch that is here, as you can see. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And now GitHub is actually hosting your repository. It's similar to a cloud hosting service, but it just hosts your code, and it helps you to collaborate with your team. When I mean team, for example, you have an organization and you want to contribute in them, you can do that. So yeah, I have a small team, Aztecs. We make small projects. So yeah, you can make your small team and contribute there. So it helps you to contribute to. And moving on, this was the thing with that. Fenil, can you put this screen down now? And Obito, can you give me a heads up?
We cool.
Okay, cool. I'll stop sharing now. And the next thing is, let's share the screen again. Presentation itself.
Just let final know when you're ready.
Yep.
Cool. It's
I'm
on.
ready
It's
then.
on.
Cool.
It's
So
on.
yeah, that was all with GitHub and Git. So a basic difference between them is Git is a version control system, and GitHub is a place where you store all the versions of your the created by Git. And yeah, Git can only do things locally, but and store things locally. But if you want to collaborate with your team and do the same things with them, you can use GitHub. It's a pretty sleek tool. Yeah, you should all have it. So moving forward, any questions, and also silly ones will work too, because when I started I had a lot of silly questions. So yeah, let's go on with the
You feel
questions.
like it's silly, but it's not actually silly.
Exactly.
We have a
Is
question.
there something like downstream? If yes, what is it? Okay, I guess Harsh will answer this.
Actually, well, upstream is basically like a convection, and it's for it's meant for the main branch that you, or it's what the main, master branch that you fork from, which will be a remote branch. So upstream is for that. Locally, there's nothing for downstream, because um there's no down when you're already at the ground. You know what I mean? I don't even know what I'm explaining, but I mean, no, technically no, it's not. Downstream, if you would say that if downstream was a thing, then it's probably your local, your local repository, and upstream would be your master branch from the, or the main repository on remote. So no, not exactly. There's no such thing at downstream. Cool. Are there any other questions? I guess not. I'm checking out in the chat. That's fine. I guess. Oh, I'm the only one here right now. And
Yeah,
Fenil is
I'm
there
here.
with
I'm
me.
here.
Nimit has gone for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, maybe his internet issues or something like that.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Never mind. If you do have any questions, write in the comment section. We are here for until 1 minute more. And also, if you want to ask at our Discord server, you can ask there. We will, uh, see to that. Also, we have mentors which will help you. Also, we can start with pull request. If you have any issues, ask again in our Discord channel. And next up to our schedule, let me up to date you that we have there's a lunch break around, and we will back at 2 p.m. at join us on our Discord server. We are going to have a mini event there, and I guess Nimit is back though
Yep, he's
already.
back. Welcome back, Nimit.
Welcome back, Nimit. Also,
Hello
yeah,
guys.
let me continue with my
Really sorry,
what I
this
was saying.
connection now sometimes sucks.
Yeah, no issue.
No issue. Also, yeah. So at 2 p.m. we have mini event, which is going to be 1 hour, and next upon we at 3 p.m. we have a session by Ayush Birwani. Uh, I guess we can say him as a flutter god. So yeah, and he's a basically a flutter
All
god,
right.
and he
He is
had
actually.
done many good contributions to the flutter community and all. So yes, we have an experienced speaker here at 3 p.m. And then we are going to we have a key end notes. I am sorry, we have done with keynotes. So yeah, we have end notes after that session, and again we on at 6 we have a second mini event on our Discord server. So yeah, do not miss that. And bye bye, Tata. See you on Discord at 2 p.m.